Do you have advice for someone who's trying to become a full-time streamer but genuinely lacks the knowledge on how to market yourself? Trying to become full-time. Hold on. Do you mean trying to become full-time as in you are currently a streamer doing all right and you're trying to transition into becoming full-time? Or are you someone who's like nowhere near and your goal is like the far off, like one day I want to make it full-time? That's the question, because the advice differs there. I actually clicked on your channel to see where you're at and it looks like you're not established yet, but you have streamed, so that helps me figure out what you're trying to do. So the question is like, how do you go full-time? How do you get there? My first bit of advice is don't set up expectations for yourself. Don't expect anything. Don't quote unquote try to go full-time when you're not even close. If you're a tiny streamer and you think maybe it would be nice to go full-time one day, yeah, I'm gonna give you a realistic Mr. Rogers talk. That's a nice dream, but it's a dream and it's not realistic. It's very unlikely that it'll work. Therefore, you should treat it as a hobby, and it's okay to treat it as a serious hobby. Now, if you're really going into it and you're treating it like a serious hobby, then you are taking it seriously. So if it does work out later, you're already like, you know, you've set yourself up a little bit to maybe then take it seriously in a job kind of way. But don't change anything in your life in a way like that's like crazy, like quitting a job to make time to stream so you could maybe make it one day, all those sorts of things. Not worth it. Not worth it. Do whatever you're gonna do in your life and have your normal life completely take precedent and be first. And then do this on the side as a hobby. And if you want to, again, take it seriously, there's nothing wrong with that. There will be people that will be like, oh, don't take this seriously or treat it like a job because then you'll take the passion out of it. I think that's untrue. It actually just makes me like it more because I like, you know, feeling like I have a job well done or whatever, you know, like I like that. So for me, taking it seriously made me like it more, which I didn't know I would be like that. But then as I was doing it, I was like, oh, this is great. So that's fine. But, you know, just treat it like if it happens, it's a lottery thing, and just learn, get better, focus on improving yourself, but do not have an end goal. Honestly, that's my advice. Do not set a specific end goal. Only have short and medium term goals that you work toward and let them go. Because when you have these big end goals that you're really trying to work toward, but it's not your job and it's just a serious hobby, I find that a lot of the time people get so mentally attached, emotionally attached to those end goals that they lose their end goals for their IRL shit, like their actual job or their schooling. Like you said, you're like a student is what you said. So I think normally setting goals for yourself is like the greatest thing, quote unquote. But in this case, I see too many people create these end goals of I want to make it full time, right? Something like that. And then they just get so hyper focused on it that everything in their real life like just falls away a little bit. And I don't think that's good, you know? So I would say set up little short-term goals and some solid medium ones. Like, yeah, like you're saying, like 1K followers by the end of the year is a decent sized goal. I think that's good. I think that's good. You have plenty of time. Absolutely, yes. So set that goal, and I would say that's a medium-term goal, right? That's something within the next couple months. So that's great. But try not to set anything beyond that. Just have medium goals over and over and over. And eventually, you know, if you keep hitting those medium-term goals, then maybe you might be close enough to the point where now you can actually consider going full-time or making this a real job or something, because you might just be at that point. But I would say kind of like treat it more casually. Take the small goals seriously, but don't look at any crazy end goals, right? Because then you won't go crazy. You know what I mean? Then you won't be fucking hard on yourself for not being full-time. You'll just be like, well, I'm just going for something realistic that I can do, like you said, you're students, you could do alongside being a student, right? So yeah, I would say like treat it as a serious hobby. Keep your goals very like 6 month as far as terms go, and anything beyond that, not worth doing unless you're making enough from this serious hobby that you actually could consider maybe going full-time, like you're like basically there almost. Then you can be like, all right, now I can start considering the big shifts because you're close to it. But if you're not close to it, don't worry about it, you know, because again, the likelihood is so low, and I see a lot of people set those like crazy expectations and then get depressed because they don't come close to them, and they're like, was this just a pipe dream? What did I waste my time on? And I'm like, well, you set yourself up to be like, I know I'm already 20, but I'm gonna try to be an Olympic gymnast. You know what I mean? Like brother, just go take some classes at your local place and have a good time, you know? maybe enter a local tournament, right? Like I see it the same way. And you know, hey, maybe you're that one person who does really well and you get there, but like, you know, you're not going to make money being a hobby gymnast, right? Same thing with streaming. It can absolutely be a viable side hustle. I will say it's probably not going to make you more than just having a second job, but you could do it from home, which is nice. And you can usually like work other hobbies into it that you'd already be doing anyway and turn it into content. So you're just kind of sharing your hobby as content with people, right? So it doesn't feel like it's not as exhausting as a whole second job. So I still think it's a pretty good option. Just just don't go crazy over it, man. Nothing wrong with it being a serious hobby. I think there's some people that get really toxic and weird about it when you try to treat streaming seriously, and they're like if you care about this in a money kind of way, if you care about how you're performing, then you're lost in the sauce, is what some people say, and I think they're completely wrong. You have no metrics to know if you're doing a good job or not but that. So it's okay to look at it, as long as you're not like living and dying by it, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're trying to do art commissions on top of the stream goals. Yeah, and that's the thing. So if you do end up streaming art, it's not the best category to like grow in, or you kind of like lock yourself to just being an art streamer, right? So if you want to make it as a variety streamer, but you're also streaming a lot of art, audiences get confused. They just like consistency with one thing, kind of. So, you know, if you're gonna do some art and then play some variety and then do some art and then play some variety, just know that you're probably gonna like grow a lot slower. But again, if this is not like your main job, that's fine. You literally shouldn't care. You know what I mean? So if it's like you care about doing the commissions and then you just want to monetize your streams like alongside doing those commissions just as an extra like couple of bucks and some hangout time to keep you sane while you're doing them, that's fine. That's good, if anything. You know, it just depends on your exact kind of situation, you know? Yeah, you said care more of to make a community, more for making a community and just making friends, making people happy, making enough to at least just stay afloat. Yeah, I think that's the right attitude. Like for me, I was always caring a lot more about building a community than like hitting certain numbers. I would rather stream some stuff that doesn't get numbers that I want, but also gets me the community that I want, right? Like certain types of games, I absolutely know that when I was doing variety and growing on like playing a lot of indie games, a lot of card games, deck builders and things, I know that those are not games that get like 1 million people following, right? But I like the community around it. So a lot of my like core community that's been around for a long time are people that liked those things. And I find that they were, you know, like sane people on average, not always, but on average. And I like that. So I was like, I'd rather grow on this, then I know there are certain things I could do that would like absolutely perform super well, but I want the community to be good. So if you're a small streamer, I'd say focus really hard on that. Just having the community you want that likes the same things as you, and don't focus on growth at all, honestly. Just don't. And then if you're focusing on community and you manage to grow, then you pivot if you want to, but you don't go for that. It just, if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, Beetle said, I don't think people realize that even streamers that have like 50 plus viewers are in the top 5% of Twitch. It's really hard to make it a primary source of income. Yeah, I don't, even when you do make it a primary source of income, it's so volatile that it's not, it's kind of just not worth it compared to a job that you can do guaranteed for like a minimum 20 years and we'll just pay you the same salary every year, you know, like that's so much better, honestly. So I wouldn't consider it as a primary source of income unless you're literally getting paid better than what your normal job would pay you. Even then, it's streaming tends to not be super long term for most people, so it's like not really the best. Do you think posting on YouTube is better for shorts or TikTok or Insta or maybe somewhere else? Well, here's the thing. You can post, you make one short and post it in all of those places. Just post it everywhere. Just do a format that can be reposted and try them all. You make one short, you post on YouTube Shorts and TikTok same day, and why not an Insta Reel? Why not? Just post it in every spot at once, and whichever one takes off, you do. I think Shorts and TikTok are most worth it. I think Reels on Insta, people do not leave that platform to go watch streamers. I think YouTube Shorts has a higher chance than TikTok for you to actually get those people to show up to stream. I think TikTok users also kind of tend to stay on TikTok a bit more, but it's still worth it. I think they both work. So if I were you, I would make Shorts and post them to TikTok and YouTube and just see what works out. And if one doesn't work out, honestly, it's okay to just keep posting. Something is something, you know? More is more. When you first started, did you edit your own stuff or get editors? So for me, I didn't actually focus on doing any edited content at all in the beginning. So anything that I posted, I edited myself, and I didn't actually like post content outside of Twitch until year and a half ago. Maybe I started 2 years ago, and I posted it really infrequently. Like for years, I didn't do it at all. I just was on Twitch, and it's because this was a serious hobby for me, but I wasn't trying to make it. I wasn't trying to make it at all. I legitimately was not trying. If I was trying, I would have been making YouTube shorts. And I didn't because this was, again, just a hobby, and I had a great day job. I had a 9 to 5 that was a banger, you know? So I was not, ooh, do you hear him? Oh, Nucky's playing that game where he pretends that he is the demon. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I edited my own shit. So this was not a real job for me, or wasn't going to be a real job for me, or wasn't intending to be. So I didn't have edited content at all. I just streamed on Twitch, and I would say it's a rare case. I just grew by streaming on Twitch. I didn't even grow on Twitter. My Twitter was also like a fucking afterthought. I didn't care about any of it. I just streamed, but I grew because people did manage to find me because my content was good. I don't think my content was good at first, but I think at some point people decided my content was good, and yay. So it worked out. And then once I debuted like a new model sometime after that and everything, then I started posting stuff because I was like, okay, I guess I'll do this. What was your turning point from serious hobby to trying to go full time? My health. It's a little sad. My health went to shit. I found out that I had a really bad illness. Then I thought I was going to die, genuinely. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to quit my job and just stream, I guess. So I wasn't even trying to make it a job because I wasn't going to need a job. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'll just stream, I guess. And I was streaming. And then I got a surgery, and it went better than it was likely to go. And I was like, oh, well, now I need a job. Now I'm gonna need one of those. So then, I mean, I already was streaming and basically full time, and it was making enough that I could do it. So I just did it.